All right, let's get into it. You need a new appliance. You walk into a store, or let's be honest, you open up like a dozen tabs on your computer. You're ready to upgrade your kitchen, make it a little smarter, a little more efficient, and then bam, you're just hit with this wall of choices. You're bombarded with labels yelling eco-friendly, green, and smart. Every single oven seems to have its own app. Every fridge wants to connect to your Wi-Fi. And it's cool, but it is also really, really confusing. How in the world do you sort through all of that noise to find something that's actually good? We're all sold this incredible vision, right? The perfectly automated, energy-sipping smart kitchen, where all our gadgets work together to save us time, money, and, help the planet. The promise is amazing, but when you're actually trying to buy one piece of that puzzle, it feels more like a really high-stakes guessing game. And that brings us to the real question, the one we're all thinking as we're looking at the shiny chrome and the fancy touchscreens. Beyond all the bells and whistles, is this new machine actually going to lower my bills and use less energy? Well, that is exactly what we are here to figure out. Okay, so the very first thing we have to get past is the marketing hype. A lot of brands want to look like they're saving the planet, but the claims don't always hold up. This is where we need to get good at spotting the fakes. There's actually a name for this. It's called greenwashing. And it's a pretty simple concept when you break it down. It's all about marketing versus reality. It's when a company makes a product seem way more sustainable than it actually is. And trust me, once you know what it is, you'll start seeing it everywhere. So, how do you spot it? Thankfully, there are some pretty clear red flags. If you see these big, fuzzy claims like eco-friendly with absolutely nothing to back them up, you should be skeptical. If there are no hard numbers, no data, no stats about performance, that's another warning. And finally, look for real third-party certifications, not just a cute little leaf logo the company designed themselves. And this right here perfectly illustrates the difference. On the left, you've got a marketing phrase that sounds nice but means, well, nothing. Eco-friendly design? What is that? But on the right, you have a hard fact, 195 kilowatt hours per year. Now that is a number you can actually use. You can compare it. You can even calculate how much it'll cost you to run. That's what you're looking for. So let's talk about our secret weapon for cutting through all this nonsense, the energy label. Seriously, think of this thing as the nutrition label for your appliances. It's standardized, it's regulated, and it tells you the truth with zero marketing spin. Now, this label might look a little intense at first, but it breaks down into a few key parts. That A to G color scale gives you a quick snapshot of efficiency. A is the best, obviously. The kilowatt hour number, that's the most important one. That's your estimated electricity use. And a little insider tip here, that number is almost always based on the most efficient eco mode. So it's great for comparing models, but just know your real-world use will probably be higher if you use the more powerful settings. For dishwashers and washing machines, the water drop tells you water consumption, and that little speaker icon, that's the noise level, which, believe me, is more important than you think if you have an open-plan kitchen. To make this a little less abstract, let's look at a real number. A modern, efficient oven might use about 0.85 kilowatt hours for one cooking cycle. By checking the label, you can directly compare that number between different models. A lower number means lower running costs every single time you use it. It really is that simple. Okay, so you know how to dodge the greenwashing and how to read the label. Now, let's zero in on what you should actually be looking for. Here is a super simple framework to help you focus on the specs that are going to make a real difference. Here it is, your 3-step checklist. First, ignore the slogans, go straight to the energy label, and read the real numbers, the kilowatt hour and the water usage. Second, and this is so important, check the size. A giant A-rated fridge that's always half empty is a massive waste of energy. Match the capacity to what your household actually needs. And finally, step 3, question those smart features. Ask yourself, does this feature give me useful info to help me save energy, or is it just a glorified remote control? And don't forget about standby power. A smart appliance is always on, listening for a signal, and that can turn an efficient machine into an energy vampire when you're not even using it. So now we can bring it all together. Once you're armed with these tools, you're ready to make a genuinely smart choice, one that actually fits your life, your budget, and your goals for efficiency. So when are those smart features worth the extra cash? Well, this quote just nails it. They're worth it when they help you. A notification that your kid left the fridge door open? That helps you save energy. An alert that helps you run the dishwasher when electricity is cheapest? That helps you save money. But just preheating your oven from the couch? Maybe not so much.
So to sum it all up, the truly smart upgrades are often the simplest ones. It's about getting the right size appliance for your family. It's about looking for low standby power to avoid those hidden energy costs we talked about. It's about finding a machine with a genuinely efficient eco mode that you'll actually use. And yeah, it's about investing in the smart features that monitor your usage and help you build better habits.
So there you go. You are now officially equipped to see past all the hype and focus on what really matters. You can decode the labels, you can ask the right questions. So the only thing left to ask is, now that you have the tools, what's your next smart decision going to be?